You're watching Basement Generation.
Yay! I drum and help songwrite in the band. My dad's a drummer, so I've drummed for pretty much my whole life, but before being in the band, I hadn't drummed for about 2 years. My background is more so in photography and zine making and organizing.
I'm Dave, and I play guitar and sing sometimes. I've been playing guitar for around 4 years, for almost 5 years, since I was a freshman. I've been writing songs since I was 15, and this is like my first real band.
I'm Mavis, and I play the bass, and I've been in Big Pity since February. I honestly have a background in musical theater, which sounds really stupid, but before I did any music, I did a lot of musical theater, and I played guitar for a few years.
You also have a background in opera.
Yeah, I have done some opera stuff too. Wait, did that work?
There's no film in
There's no
that. Wait,
I've never seen your camera drawer.
I have more.
Wait, Max, I'm gonna take a photo of this.
I forgot about this, dude.
Dave, pose.
No, wait, where was this used for? Was this
We haven't used that for anything.
We haven't used it for anything?
Yeah, because I don't know how to set it up.
You can tie that to your pants like my mom's trying to. I didn't bring the disco thing that was gonna plug into my phone.
Oh,
I forgot that.
Shit, but we have...
I'll have it tomorrow.
This is Orlando, and you're watching Basement Generation. Me and Dave met at the second to last Silent Barn show. This was ended up being a really, really formative moment for a lot of us. We met a lot of people who are now our best friends. But we met, and then he was like, "Do you want to start a psych rock band?" And I was like, "I don't know who you are." But then I figured out who he was, and then we tried to start a psych rock band, but we ended up just starting an indie pop band.
Yeah.
I met you 2 years ago, before I was a freshman at Tiger Bomb.
Yeah.
And I don't think I even talked to you, and I think I saw you at a Mac DeMarco concert.
Yeah. Yes,
and then I saw you at a Frankie Cosmos concert.
I saw you at a Frankie. This is a crazy succession of bands.
And then when I met Max for the first time, but I remember at the Living Artist show in August, we both followed each other on Instagram, and I was like, "Hi," and you just stared at me, and I was like, "Okay, never mind."
No.
But you came up to me at the ice show, and I was like, "Okay, cool.
It was
nice to meet you." I remember when you reached out to me, I was so nervous. I was like, they probably have so many people that they're looking into, but they're all so good.
We had okay, I'm gonna be honest. You never heard this before. We only had one girl in mind, but she was leaving to college later, so nothing probably would have been able to happen. So we kept saying we had people audition.
I know,
but it was really just you.
I remember we spoke on the phone one time for an hour or something. And you're like, but we have other people we're looking at. And I was like, yeah, okay,
we
sure.
We didn't have anybody else.
I remember you had me send a bunch of my playlists to you.
It was one playlist.
Okay, maybe it was one playlist, and I was like, all right, he's just gonna go through my music and judge every single song that I put on there, and you did. But it was good.
It was good.
Whenever Dave goes up to use the bathroom or get water or something, I take his guitar and then play with his looping pedals and make these different. They're almost like beats, but with guitar, and they're really weird and ambient.
And then he'll come down and be like, whoa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so when the first time we met, I was like, when Dave comes down, he's gonna hear this bullshit that I'm playing. He's like, that's so good.
And he did it.
Yeah, I
He
did. I
it.
came
You know,
down
made
with
a
it.
song
That was
out of it.
amazing. And
Wait, what song did that?
it was Yes and No. We had like a whole song in like 20-ish
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
And it was like, it was definitely the smoothest like structured songwriting process. All our songs were like, recently I've been like 8 minutes long each, it's like 6 to 7 minutes long.
We have to
We're
find
working
a
on
way to
that.
like
Yeah.
turn songs into other songs.
Yeah.
Like, split things up because
Yeah.
I feel like we could easily split it
We
up,
could just
but
split
like
it up.
that's boring.
I actually didn't know what we were making was called Toast Rock
I mean,
Yeah,
until
until
like
yeah.
actually until like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We started very much on like the indie punk side of things, and then we evolved to have a lot of shoegaze in it, and then lots of different elements of like minimalism came into our stuff, and then also bits of like doom. We kind of made this sound before we realized there were many bands like it, but this genre post-rock isn't like, as a genre term, it doesn't really mean anything, but it came out of like a lot of these bands in the mid and late 90s who were fusing together elements of like post-hardcore and math rock and different sides of like free jazz. Yeah, but then my dad is a giant influence on me. His posters are all over here.
Yeah.
His name is Andrew Drury. He's an avant-garde free jazz drummer. But like I'm very influenced by actually a lot of like kind of like techno and like gabber and like hardstyle like EDM groups. Like just the drum machines of like Deli Girls influenced me a lot. I always try to like make it so that my drumming is like staying away from kind of like classic like rock break beats and instead having things that like people make more on like drum machines or come more out of like the jazz or funk kind of side.
Explosion in the Sky is the first like band I ever like listened to. I was like 10, and I feel like that's a really
For
intense
me, it was
band to listen
for me, it was
to.
Cage the Elephant.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Was your first?
Vampire Weekend.
Yeah, it was your first
I saw
concert.
Vampire Weekend in concert when I was 5.
Oh my god.
But I would say that like the first band that I ever got like super duper into was The Cure. Like
Really?
always has been The Cure.
The Cure's amazing.
Since day one. Like day
Mhm.
one of like 7th grade, I was like, this is music. I would say like when it comes to like vocals for me, I always wanted to kind of have like a Cocteau Twinsy vibe, just because I found like the vocals to be a lot, I don't know, higher and more like floaty, which I always found fascinating, and I like that. That was something that was kind of close-ish to like almost like opera-y sounding stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, I could make those sounds kind of. Let me try it out. So. I don't. Oh, I know that.
I was asking people to bring wine.
My like urge to organize and create things has been like a really big part of how our band has like always gone. I've always been like very aware of the need for like intentional communities and like modeled after Noam Chomsky's anarcho-socialism, in which you have different labor unions with hierarchies that are recreated all the time and are egalitarian. Being in New York is crazy.
Yeah, New York
I mean,
is. I love.
I can't imagine living anywhere else. The DIY scene in New York is something that I think is so special.
Yeah.
Like being around people and dancing with people that you don't know, like builds such a family feeling almost. Like at the last Living Artist show, I left that show and I was so happy.
Oh my god.
Like that
That's
show, I
amazing.
think that was like my favorite thing we've
Yeah.
done so far.
But
Like good old man.
criticisms, the main ones are criticisms of capitalism.
Yeah.
Venues getting shut down, other venues taking way too much money from acts and just like trying to
Using
exploit
kids.
people.
Using kids like for money, like seeing
Yeah.
that like people have passion and recognizing that like, oh, people will actually want to like put their art out there and like taking that and being like, oh, we can make a lot of money off of this.
Yeah.
Go off.
Yeah.
But then I
That's
also
it.
have big criticisms of kids that try to make a bunch of money. I fucking hate profit. And then
Yeah.
also people that like don't respect a show being straight edge or like don't like
Oh yeah.
do things to just protect like a space. Like people that just like turn their amps way too loud, or like if someone's like, hey, don't mosh, this is my living room and I don't want to break anything, and they're like, fuck you, and like mosh, that's
Yeah.
like, that doesn't help. Anyway, we're playing May 7th, May 18th, May 31st, maybe June 8th, June 15th, July 17th, July 28th, and then definitely more things in July and August.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The summer's gonna be fun.
Summer's
I'm
gonna be
so
fun.
excited for this summer.
And the info for all of that will be on our Instagram at bigpity.uwu.
Yeah, yeah, hit us up.
DM us.
Be your friends.
Shout out Clara Joy. I love you.
Love you.
Clara
Favorite
Joy.
musician ever.
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 Best one.